Let's see if you have any talent.
I didn't masturbate for my first time until I was 26. Wait, smell nice, don't have bad breath, and try not to scare girls. It's true, because I've grabbed boobs. I have no advice for women. You don't marry someone that's in your same weight class. That's what you do in wrestling. That's not what you do in marriage, Piggy.
Oh my God.
It's dating advice from Skippy. Dating advice from Skippy. Singing advice from Russell Crowe. It's drinking advice from Charlie Sheen. It's
Yeah, I'm Charlie.
Nice to meet you.
Sorry, I'm so
No, you're cool, man.
just makes sense. It's dating advice from a 40-year-old virgin. It's dating advice. You know what? The comment summed it up better than I could. This is the equivalent of a blind man trying to explain what a sunset looks like. Dating advice from Skippy. It's dating advice. Just take a look.
Hi guys, it's May 31st, 2015.
That was like 7 years ago. I think he's like 50 now. He was really a 40-year-old virgin at that point. It's dating advice from a 40-year-old virgin. Hey, it's Leo here again. Before we head into the new year, I plan on extending my team. I'd like to get more editors on board for the main and second channel, and really speaking, I think the people who know my content best are the fans. So I'm extending an offer to anybody who wants to try and edit for me. Of course, this is a fully paid position. It's not easy, and you don't need any experience, but what I will need for you is to edit a small piece of footage for me that I provided for you in my Dropbox. So I'll leave the link in the description and also the comments. What I'm looking for is edits like my main channel, transitions, subtitles, memes, zooms, everything that I normally like and do on my channel. If you think you have what it takes and are willing and able to do this, then I'd love to see your submission. I do look at every single one. If it's good enough, I'll definitely message you back. And to everyone who even applies, I just want to say thank you, even if I don't accept the submission. I also chose the best footage I could possibly do. Big Ed, of course. So I hope you have fun with it. Once again, I'm looking for people who can edit at a very high quality and also into a time deadline, and who can also put their own twist on things. You're more than welcome to try out anything. I love looking at new stuff. So if this is something for you, then I hope you submit. All submissions should go to my email, 16leomusic@gmail.com, and that way I can look at every single one. Once again, good luck, and I hope to hear from you soon. Okay, back to the video.
This is Skippy, and I am filming from on top of a parking structure here at UVU.
Why wouldn't you film on top of a parking structure? You know, it's just good. It's just beautiful. Out of everywhere you could film, maybe indoors, maybe in a house, maybe a place where you could not be blinded by the sun every few seconds. Maybe wear sunglasses if you decide to film outside. But no, Skippy's like, here, this is the designated place I need to film, where everybody films videos outside of a parking structure to give solid dating advice. I know I always get my therapy sessions from under a bridge.
And here's the thing, so when I was on Virgin Diaries, I was 34 at the time, I believe, and I'm now 37, still a virgin.
I'm sorry, I mean, update 7 years later, he's still a virgin, as far as we know. So he's the 45, 44-year-old virgin. This man is really, he's gonna take it to the grave with him at this point. And, man, I think he's in grave danger. If he doesn't bust that nut, he's gonna go crazy, and everyone in Utah is gonna know of the evil supervillain Skippy. Somebody better get him ass. And the only person who can give him dating advice is himself.
Yeah, the long story short, I'm still living in Mom's basement. Taylor Wood, she wanted me to give a shout out to her and her friend Eddie, who is 35 years old and he's single. So Eddie, or anyone who wants to be celibate or is having a tough time with that.
Or incel, which is involuntary celibate. And you know what? I guess at a certain age, the lines start blurring. Blurred Lines was not a song for sex by Robin Thicke. It was a song directed at all these incels who really just need some pussy. Sorry about that. But seriously, I feel sorry for this man, but at the same time, when you actually realize the stuff he does to shoot himself in the foot, proverbially, and honestly, maybe literally, you feel less sorry and more like, why are you doing this to yourself, bro?
Okay, so let me give you something interesting about me. I didn't masturbate for my first time until I was 26.
Damn it, I didn't expect that to be the first. Whew, God in hell, Jesus crackers. The vodka was absolute, but that truth didn't need to be. That is not something you want to hear your idol. Can you imagine if that's the first question you ask your idol? Hey, Al Pacino. Yeah. When was the first time you jacked off? Wow, 26. 26 is the first time he choked the dragon. Alright, well, congratulations for waiting that long. This guy has been doing nofap for years. He should be the most Chad person in the world by the logic of nofap, because he just didn't do it.
And in the Mormon culture, you would never, well, I guess in most cultures you don't talk about masturbation, but
Just in social culture in general, people ask you, how was your day? You don't shake their hand and be like, I didn't masturbate, did you? And that's not really, you know, a topic of conversation. Dating advice, not about masturbation. But you know what? Please, I'd love to see where this is going.
in Mormon culture, this is something that you would bring up with your bishop about. With it's a part of life, but it's also a transgression because you know, impure thoughts lead to impure actions, which is true because I've grabbed boobs, but.
You know, just because you're a 30-something-year-old virgin doesn't mean that you need to talk like a 12-year-old, you know. I've definitely grabbed boobs. No, really. I've grabbed 2 of them with my 2 hands. I was like, honk honk. I mean, I don't know. I feel like if you go to the strip club and you ask to see boobs, they should kick you out. I don't know, man. That word outgrows itself at a certain age. I'm just gonna write that quote down. He felt boobs. I felt boobs. I mean, step 1 to not being a virgin is definitely feeling boobs. It's hard to be a virgin when you don't feel the boobs.
One of the crazy things about living in Utah is that I literally know dozens of people that are also older and virgins too. And in Utah, it's not that big of a deal if you are. I mean, it's a big deal to you.
No, it's not a big deal. I mean, it's never been a big deal. You can be a celibate person and it's completely fine. Being a virgin at any age is completely fine. It's just the way that you go about it. I mean, Skippy himself is a virgin, but it feels like it's not by choice. The amount of dates and things that he goes on, the amount of times he pries and asks for a kiss.
Can I please just give you a kiss?
And other creepy things really get me to believe that he is not someone who wants to be a virgin, if that makes sense. It's different when you see someone who's like, no thank you, not for me, I'll not have that ass today. Then it's quite different than someone who's like, I'd want the ass, but because I can't get it, I'm saving myself. You know what I mean? And Skippy's more that.
But it's not a big deal in the sense that you're the only person or you're an outcast. So,
oh, by the way, for those of you who are thinking, why doesn't Skippy just get a hooker or or someone who's a sensual worker or someone who's in that line of work, he sees them as impure. He sees that as just not okay and a really not good profession, and that really is a sort of a stain on his, you know, thing in terms of like, yeah, I want it with someone I love. I don't want just cheap sex, and which is what he thinks of it as. So he won't go that route. I don't know how to feel about that because I very much respect those people. But yeah, Skippy's felt boobs, but I guess there's no connection, then you can't. Boobs without a connection are just 2 round things.
I don't know, Eddie, what? I have no advice for women.
All right. No advice for women. That's interesting. I don't know if I thought he would have advice for women.
I'm not good with them, you know? I mean, I'm odd, but odd guys don't always get girls. I would say the easiest thing to do would be lose weight, smell nice, don't have bad breath, and try not to scare girls.
Honestly, that's not bad advice, Skippy. Maybe you should take some of it. I mean, I cannot believe this is one of those cases where you ask someone else and they'll give you perfect advice but won't take it themselves. I mean, if you lost weight, you know, I think he's a fine-looking man. If he had good breath, I don't know if he has bad breath, but I know his mouth looks like Quentin Tarantino's, which is just hilarious. Smell good. With the way Skippy saves money, I don't think he actually has cologne. I think he does the thing where he gets magazines and then takes the page out and rubs the page under his armpits. And don't scare girls. That's something you need to do, Skippy. Just, you know, play it cool. You know what I mean? Don't hit on them obnoxiously, try and kiss them. Play your part. Things will come. And if they don't come, then maybe you should, because you haven't jacked off since you were 26.
If there is a girl out there for me.
I like how he took that pause. They edited it with the pause. He was looking at like, if there was a girl out there for me. This feels like someone from The Office went out on their lunch break and decided to film this shit.
And I've thought about this a couple times, because like when I was 21, I thought that it was someone my own age. Now I'm 37 years old, so what kind of girl am I going to go after or start dating now, right?
Okay, let's not say the words go after, because that's almost like you're a predator, and you don't want that. You know what I mean? Hey, I'm going after you. That's a 17-year-old girl. Well, So maybe not go after. I know what you're saying.
I could always look outside of Utah. I could change what I'm looking for. And by the way, I get tons of comments where people think that I'm just like super.
I'm sorry, bro. Is there a helicopter in your hand? What?
Helicopter, helicopter.
You know what, Skippy? I'll tell you what. I will give you this. 1 second. If you do an interview with me, I will give you this. I will send this out to you. This is a tripod. All you have to do is hold this and it'll be like completely still in your hand. Because I feel like you're holding the camera and doing this. And I'm not genuinely not making any fun of you. I'm just telling you, if you do an interview with me, I will 100% just send you something that makes it easier for you to film. Because I think that you need that. It makes the content easier to digest for your fans as well. I think it'll help both of us.
It's like super picky. And I don't think that it's just as simple as that I'm super picky. Because that's just like a throwaway comment. Because like we all have to be somewhat picky, but picky and looking for what you think is right for you. You call it picky, I call it that. I say I'm looking for someone that's right for me.
Okay. You call it picky. I call it what's right for me. Alright, now this is an interesting thing to explain. It's actually quite a thin line between picky and your standards are unobtainable for what you are. And I know that's a harsh thing to say, but if you look at the guy working at the Pizza Hut right now, unless his name was Pete Davidson, he couldn't get Kim Kardashian. You'd have to be a f***ing billionaire that went crazy. Or Pete Davidson. Like Ariana Grande, you'd have to be one of the coolest rappers of all time. Or Pete Davidson. You know what I mean? There's a lot. There's a reason Brad Pitt got Angelina Jolie. You know what I mean? And Jennifer Aniston, you know what I mean? And I think cheated on them both. Skippy, I'm not saying that you should bat below your batting average. I'm saying, you know, aim high, for sure. Set your standards and stick to them. But there's a difference between I want something that's achievable and I want something that's unobtainable. Like saying the words, I'm going to fly or I'm going to die. That's quite a do or die sentence. Saying the words, I'm going to fly and if I don't, maybe I'll stick to a parachute. At some point, you have to look at yourself in the mirror and be like, what can I offer this woman? Then how good do I think I am? Am I better than what I think I am? Maybe I should start dating anyway, even though I don't think that it's going anywhere, and it might open my eyes to possibilities for something better. The person that you love always, I've always said this, is not someone who meets every standard that you've ever had. In fact, they change the idea of what your standards are because you love them so much. With that being said, of course you can still have things that you need. Like for me, a fat ass. Definitely. Can't be otherwise. However, everything else is susceptible to change. I don't care what color your eyes are. I don't care how big your thighs are. I don't care if you tell white lies. Actually, I do. But there's certain things that, yep, I want this. Other things, I can change that. You get what I'm saying, Skippy? Standards. Difference between unobtainable and high standards. Very thin line.
Just because I'm 5'8" and 215 pounds doesn't mean that I should marry a chubby girl, because you don't marry someone that's in your same weight class. That's what you do in wrestling. That's not what you do in marriage picking.
Yeah, that's true. But at the same time, you have to wonder, what is a girl looking at when she sees you? Whenever you're dating someone, it's not what am I looking for? This is the correct way to date. What can I offer someone? That's a better way of looking at things. It's just a much smoother, cleaner way. Instead of saying, I'm looking for someone with the double D boobs and like a fat ass and she needs to have the greatest personality. How about, I think I have a nice personality. I can nurture people. I am in great shape. I can offer this and that. Okay, that might be a better way to look at something. And then what your options are after that is completely up to whatever you do with them. It's the difference is you are not changing yourself and still looking for these high standards. You need to change yourself and then be open to people coming to you. That's the difference.
And then someone's like, oh, but you should go for the girls that are less pretty, right? But they still have to have a personality that has got to be somewhat with mine. And most girls that have my similar look, body structure or attractive level wise, don't have personalities that keep up with what I would want.
So you're saying girls who look like you also have personalities? Well, those girls are right fucked, aren't they? You telling me girls who look like you are also like you? Like in terms of, I want a guy who has a 6-pack and like a 10-inch ding-dong, okay? I want a porn star. Yeah, but he has to have a good personality, you know? Really? Well, those girls are done for. I don't think you should be looking at them like, yeah, they're doing it, I can do the same thing. What is that, your sister? Please, Skippy.
Because they're down on themselves in the sense about who they are.
Yeah, they'll be going down on themselves if they don't actually shape up and start figuring out how to better themselves, okay? Please, Skippy, don't take their advice. Take your own advice. Feel some boobs and, you know, lose some weight and things.
And don't get me wrong, I am too, but I still am ballsy and I still go do things, and I don't want to be around a Debbie Downer my whole life. So
nice to know that he's not gonna help you if your mental health is dwindling. Skippy, I'm sad. I think I'm depressed. Oh, you Debbie Downer. I want to do things. I'm gonna go bowling with my friends. Oh, Skippy.
if I could pick my dream job, or what I would dream be doing right now with my life, it would be for me to have my own reality show.
Okay. So his dream job... His dream job is reality TV. That's ironically one of the funniest fucking lines I've ever heard in my life. Dream job reality TV. There's a lot to unpack with that sentence. I mean, just the fact that the syntax is my dream job is reality TV, which is, you know, the fakest medium in terms of entertainment. Wow. Also, that's your dream job. You want to be a Kardashian? I guess who wouldn't at this point? But first of all, it's the idea of saying if you had a dream job and not actually pursuing it. If you want something, pursue it, see where it gets you. You might not reach it, but the fact is you try, and nobody can really stop you from doing that. There's no fault in trying. Failure isn't failure until you give up. The fact that it's reality TV is really concerning because it means that you definitely want to be part of the camera and you want to have the adulation of lots of people looking at you. You want the attention, and unfortunately for Skippy, I think his attention seeking and his need or necessity to be with celebrities or a celebrity himself gets in the way of his relationship with women because he sees himself as something other than what he is. He sees himself not for what other people see him as, and that may be his biggest problem. I don't think he sees his self-worth the same as other people, and it's really harsh to say this, but he might see himself as higher than the next person, which is usually good. You should think of yourself very highly, but not if it's not warranted, if that makes sense. Because then you'll have a warped perception of yourself and think, why am I not dating Megan Fox? Why? I look like Machine Gun Kelly, just shorter and more robust. Why am I not dating her? There's a huge difference. That's the thing. He looks at himself in those circus mirrors. So when he goes into the mirror, he looks at himself and he's like all buff and everything. But when he comes out, he's looking like Skippy and he's acting like Skippy. He hasn't put in the work, but he wants the results. He didn't study, but he wants an A+, if you know what I mean.
My ideal reality show would be something based where I meet a lot of celebrities. In fact, I have the nickname Sundance Skippy. If you put in Skippy and celebrities, a whole bunch of stuff will come up. So something where like celebrities helped me find love.
They're not gonna help you find love, Skippy. Jesus Christ, man. Now you're looking for a charity case. This was a reality TV show. What happens when you find love? The show's gonna end? What if the first person, Ray Romano's like, everybody loves me? That's not even close to how he sounds. What if he helps you find love? Then what? The show ends? Oh my god, Skippy, that's such a weird concept. Do a show where you're the host and you're helping people. It's called Blind Leading the Blind, and you help other virgins find love. Do it.
Hey ladies, this guy's a virgin. He lives in his parents' basement. He has no money, no job, no prospects. But again, he wouldn't give you an STD.
They ask you how you are, and you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because they would never understand.
Imagine that being your flex. I couldn't possibly give you an STD. What do you mean? Did you get checked out? I didn't need to. I never had sex. That's not a flex, Skippy.
I would think that'd be pretty good for being on a TV show as like the guy that went and interviewed people at different things, or I would think that'd be really good out on red carpets. Tonight Show was always like my biggest dream, but whose isn't it for a kid? You know, being on Saturday Night Live. Am I funny enough? Am I talented enough?
I swear to God, we started here and there's a bit of a disconnect. Someone had asked him for dating advice and now he's philosophically talking about himself and his lack of career prospects. This poor man, all he was instructed to do was tell another man who's in his 30s how to get a dating relationship with someone. That's all he asked. Skippy feeling sorry for himself is quite the thing.
Is there anything unique about me? I don't know.
Is this a therapy session? Because you're gonna have to stop paying me for this. Really. I don't do rooftop therapy sessions anymore. Those days are over, Skippy. Oh my god, he's lamenting. He's rooftop lamenting.
And I have no idea what the rest of my week or life is going to be like. I kind of don't want to leave the roof of this car.
They ask you how you are, you just have to.
Started off as relationship advice, and now it's a man who is mildly depressed. I don't know. Started off with relationship. I wanted some relationship advice, Skippy. I wanted to see how I could find a partner for the holidays, and now I'm depressed and you're depressed, and I don't even have a rooftop. I just want to go onto a rooftop and just scream my lungs out, Skippy! Skippy! I can't deal with this, Skippy. Wear sunglasses if you're gonna film in sunlight, bro. Just take these. I'll give them to you.
But I'm light-skinned, and I know that I will get a sunburn if I'm out here too long. Taylor, Eddie, I don't think that I gave you any advice.
You did nothing. You didn't do it. You didn't do it. If this was reality TV and someone asked you a question and you just lamented about yourself, this is why you don't have a TV show. All you had to do is give this poor Eddie advice. Eddie's probably deady now. Come on, man. This is some of the shittiest advice I ever got. I just never thought that you'd be that bad at advice. You couldn't stick to the subject, so.
Or helped at all. At least it doesn't feel that way to me. But if any of you guys that are watching this want to ask me questions that I can give you guys answers to,
then don't ask him questions, because he's clearly not going to give you any answers. He's just going to talk about himself for like 10 minutes.
Stories to tell or something quick that I can make a video about and post on YouTube, I will. You can follow me on Instagram. I am Skippy. I've got a website, iamskippy.com. I'm glad that my mom doesn't read the comment section, because otherwise she would think that everyone in the world hates me.
Man, I'll tell you, bro, just listen. If you don't have a job or any prospects or anything, you shouldn't have a fucking website. I'll just tell you that right now. You don't want people to give you attention if you have nothing to give them. Your website's not going to offer you anything but comments from trolls.
Mean is super, super mean, but that's just how YouTube is. I get that.
That's just self-pity. That's just self-pity. Everyone hates you. In the world hates you. Do you know how stupid that comment is? Do you know nobody on YouTube is hated by everyone, just as nobody on YouTube is liked by anyone? If I put up a video, someone is gonna dislike it and be like, that brown, stupid man is back. And I have to live with that. I have to live with the fact that my face and just the things I say and me existing is gonna piss someone off. It's just part of life. That is the risk you take when you put yourself out there. Ignorance is bliss, and a lot of people who don't have the adulation or, are in the eyes of enough people probably don't have people who avidly hate them. If you have 4 friends and one of them hates you, you need to reassess your friendships. If you have hundreds of thousands of people and someone doesn't like your content, it's normal. People don't like Drake, and you know what? He's the greatest sicko of all time. You know what I mean? People are gonna not like you, and even Drake himself said it. You only know that you're doing right when someone doesn't like you, because people prey upon your downfall when they see you succeeding. So Skippy, maybe you're succeeding so well that people are just like jealous of you. Maybe you need to succeed, which is like every time you have a success, you pop the champagne off the cork, if you know what I mean. Maybe it'll help you calm down. Who knows? Stress relief in the form of spanking that wizard, taking the wand out and Wingardium Leviosa all over the carpets. Maybe do that.
If you look at the video comments on a couple of videos that I'm in on YouTube, the comments that people have for me are some of the most cruel sounding things ever, and they make me laugh so much, because it's these people that don't know me at all that are saying like, oh man, he's as I don't know, their language is so horrible.
I don't think that's necessarily all of the people in your comment section. Yeah, I'm sure there's some trolls, but a lot of people who watch you and watch many videos are not there just to hate on you. A lot of them are probably there to offer constructive criticism, and you need to figure out which those comments are, because it's pretty important. Let me read some of the comments right now. You spend way too much time looking for a goal for yourself when you should be spending more time trying to be a man that a girl would want. Exactly what I said. And that's not a mean comment, Skippy. That's a constructive comment. You might not agree with it, and that's completely fine, but it's not a comment hating on you. His biggest problem, besides being incredibly weird, is that he goes for the girls above his class. I mean, that's again more of an opinion. I don't think someone's hating you. What the f***? This dude has been doing this for 37 years. If you're gonna chill in a basement for that long, at least do some push-ups or something. Yeah, again, constructive. You know, people in prisons, they come out jacked and you're like, god damn, Skippy. Pretty much this is solitary confinement for you. You might as well come out jacked. If you're not jacking off, do some push-ups, get jacked. Whenever he talks about goals, he goes straight into being with them forever, and to be honest, that's gonna freak goals out. He needs to learn to chill a bit and learn about the goal as a person before jumping into, should I marry her? Here's another thing, Skippy. You have expectations beyond belief when you meet someone. Upon first first meeting, you think that they're going to line with your values of marriage and other things. That is what you're looking for. And I understand that that's the end goal for dating. But at the same time, it does bode well that you can be relaxed enough with the girl to let her make that decision herself. You don't have to force her into making that decision. And if it's something that you like, yeah, you can bring it up, but only after the third date. I would say please wait 3 dates to scare her off, because the first one is just to see if you guys are compatible. And that's the problem with a lot of your dates. You are going at Vin Diesel level of speed.
God, you're so beautiful.
When you should be going at old granny level of speed.
But it makes me laugh so much sometimes.
What the f was that? That wasn't me.
Thanks again, everyone, for watching this video today. If you liked anything about it, feel free to share it with friends. I guess I don't care if you like the video or not.
Okay, then. Wow. If you liked it, then share it, but I don't care if you like it.
If there's questions in the comment section underneath this video where you guys want to have them answered by me, you know, I've been in 1 month and a half long relationship and 2 or 3 week long relationships. That doesn't qualify me to give advice, but I'll give it anyways, because there's other people that are getting paid money to give advice that don't have much knowledge in their topics.
Yeah, but that's not why you should do things. Don't be like, I mean, he's a shitty rapper, so I can be a shitty rapper too. That's not why you should be doing things.
Give the advice anyways. Like, bartenders aren't actually
Okay, just please stop.
therapists, and they give advice all the time.
They don't, though. They don't. I don't think you've watched anything but a movie. I never went to a real bartender and be like, Charlie, give me a double. And Charlie's like, my name's Brandon. There is no such thing as a double, and get out. This is my private domicile, you bitch.
So why shouldn't a 37-year-old virgin that lives in his parents' basement give dating advice?
Because he's a 37-year-old virgin that lives in his parents' basement and shouldn't give dating advice.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, thanks for watching this. Bye.
Okay, bye. We got some advice, I guess. Skippy's dating advice has almost nothing to do with dating at all. It's, from what I could gather, this is the little morsels of information he provided. I felt boobs. I'm assuming if you want to be in a dating situation, you need to feel boobs, so, you know, do that. He has no advice for women. I assume that, you know, don't give advice to people of, I guess, the opposite sex, maybe? Even your own sex, so just don't, if you're not having sex, don't give advice about sex to anyone with the sex. Lose weight, good breath, smell good, don't scare girls off. That's the best advice he has given in 10 years, and I wish he would follow some of it. I'm not saying that you have to lose weight, and honestly, I think if a person is happy at the weight that they're in, and they find someone who's also happy with their weight, perfect. You don't have to lose weight. You don't have to have a six-pack to be in a relationship. I don't believe that, but what you do need to have is good common sense, sensibility, reliability, compassion, care, and nurturing. Also, it doesn't hurt to be charming and funny. Maybe try that. Oh, you call it picky, I call it what's right for me. Yeah, like I said, Skippy needs to actually learn to see himself as what he is before he can start demanding what goals that he wants. And it's always about what can I give rather than what can I get. Because once you start giving and expecting nothing, then you get. If you're someone who's just constantly making others around you happy, you're definitely going to attract some people who are like, I would like to be with that. What you put out into the world is what you get. That's just a law. His dream job is reality TV, so he wants to be like the 5th or 6th Kardashian. I mean, good luck to you. He wouldn't give someone an STD. That's lovely. You know, it's just great that he wouldn't give someone an STD. I think that everyone shouldn't give anyone STDs, and the fact that he physically can't and is flexing that is just, it's just good. And then everyone in the world hates him. So having that self-pity at the end of the day really puts into perspective Skippy's ideals as a person and the constant victimization of himself. Feeling sorry for yourself is good for a couple of days, maybe it's necessary, but to do it for years in makes you unable to actually have the willpower to get up. If you give up on yourself, you'll never be able to take yourself out of bed and you'll never be able to improve yourself. You have to believe in yourself in order to make those improvements. It's just part of things. As soon as you stop victimizing yourself, as soon as you stop feeling sorry for yourself and say, okay, this is my situation, let me better it one day at a time, I think everything else will fall into place. I know you didn't ask me for advice, but you didn't give any advice, so someone had to. And that is my advice for you. Skippy, like I said, if you want to get interviewed, please, I'm gonna give you this tripod. It's so good. I'll also give you the glasses. If you ever want to film outdoors, I'll give you a pair of nice sunglasses. Hit me up, Skippy. I'd love to talk to you. I think we need to. Alright, thank you so much if you watched the video. If anybody sees Skippy, tell him I'm looking for him. Alright then, take care. Bye. Love you.